Hey, welcome back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where this has become a 1-to-3 series. And the stakes tonight, they couldn't be higher. Remember, the winner of Game 3s, when a finals is tied, they go on to win 80% of the time. And Commissioner Adam Silver, this will be the 9th different franchise that you have crowned an NBA champion. We always appreciate when you join us here on set.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to start here because I know this is my favorite time of year. I know this is your favorite time of year when we get to be here watching teams compete for a championship. There's been a lot of conversation about how we can recapture maybe some of the magic that we get in the NBA Cup to match the level that players put into this, maybe on-court decals, things like that. Is there any plans to reincorporate it?
Well, I've seen some of the chatter on social media around on-court decals. People don't realize they went away a decade ago because there were claims that Kendrick knows. Some of the players were saying it was slippery when we had the decals on the floor. So we're back to adding them virtually. So those are on. But you know, it's an interesting time in society. Like, so we have 2 markets, as we've all been around for the last week in Oklahoma City and Indianapolis, that are completely captured by the finals. I mean, every store you go to, there's signage. Everyone, look at this concourse here. Yeah. Everybody on the streets is wearing the team colors. I mean, and I think I've been doing this for a long time. I don't remember being in 2 markets where it feels like so dominant to have these games. Then as a media matter, it's interesting, like people compare us to 20 years ago, but for these games 1 and 2 so far are the highest rated programs in May and June so far on television. And if something beats us, it'll be another sports program. Back 20 years ago, we often didn't win the night when the finals were on. But the ratings, the absolute rating is lower now. But what's happening, people talk about in politics all the time that we're a divided society and people just want to watch their point of view. The world's changed. There's so many more options now that, and this goes to your question, that when for us a huge event happens like the finals, the question is how do you bring in casual viewers? It used to be when you were on ABC, there were only a few networks, and then there were some cable channels. And so if there was the NBA finals on or the World Series or whatever it was, you were drawn to it because it was a big event in society. People were talking about it at work the next morning. And long way of saying, I think we have to do new things now. So in some ways, I couldn't be happier. I mean, we're dominating in these cities. We're dominating relative to other programming. But ultimately, the goal is to get more people to watch, and that's what makes it a bigger event. And so we have to be innovative and find new ways, you know, podcasts, social media, direct-to-consumer marketing, new digital platforms that we're moving to next year. ESPN and ABC are doing the same. It's a changed society.
It's really fun to see how much these 2 cities have been impacted. I would like to see just the little trophy on the front of the jersey again. I think would be kind of fun.
It's on the back, but all right.
I want them both. I want them both.
I wish that were the difference. We'll move the trophy here, and it's a big event then.
Adam, always great to see you. You talked about doing new things, having to do new things. You already did when you guys announced USA versus the World All-Star Week in 2026. I love it. You and I have talked about it. You know I've been clamoring for this for a long time. Why did you ultimately make that decision? Talk to me about why you made that decision.
So I'll just say a few things. First of all, you've been talking about it for a long time. You came to see me to talk to me about it last year. I mean, one thing, it will be USA and global competition. The exact format we're still working on. The NHL did the 4-nation face-off. I thought that worked great. Roughly 30% of our league is international, so it wouldn't quite be fair to the players if we said half come from 70%. So we got to work out exactly what the format is. I think we're moving to another network that's not ABC next year for the All-Star Game. It happens to be NBC, which used to be the home, as you all know, many years ago, where our All-Star Game was. We're going to be smack in the middle of the Winter Olympics for next year's All-Star Game. So been listening to people like you for a while saying that we should be moving more to a global competition. To be honest, some of our teams resisted it because this is where the pressure point is. Bob knows from running the Warriors. Bob used to say, I just don't want my players to get hurt. Tell them to have a good time.
I was a good partner.
Yeah, you were a good partner, but the whole issue is, and that's in our league, I mean, there's not a lot of upside for the teams. It's not just the players to go have the players go out and kill themselves. So the teams didn't necessarily want us to create a platform where they were getting maximum effort. Having said that, we have to listen to our fans, and our fans are telling us loud and clearly, and as I said, what a perfect opportunity. The lead into the All-Star Game next year will be the Olympics on NBC, and after our All-Star Game, because it's going to be in the late afternoon next year, we'll then be going back into the Olympics. So I think everyone is it's asking for it, and it's the perfect opportunity to do it.
Bob, did he just say that Stephen A. Smith is right? Is that what he came out?
I got to clear that up. Yeah, that's a good point. He said he gave you advice. You don't really listen to his. I mean, we're on TV. It's awkward. It's awkward if you. But realistically, Adam, easy one. A year from now, you'll be up here for the finals. Will a year from now, we've talked about it, I've heard you comment on it, will there be expansion? Will there be 2 teams identified and potentially in process a year from now?
Honest answer is I'm not sure. We will be engaging in a process beginning this summer. I've talked about that. We have a owners meeting in Las Vegas. We said once we got our CBA done, once we got our new media deals, I'm not sure on what track it'll happen. You know, as you know, it's hard enough to put together a team right now competing against 29 others. There's only so much great talent in this league, so there's dilution of talent when you have more teams, and also dilution of economics. And so it's something we have to study. I personally think that clearly, you know, North America can sustain more NBA franchises. I think people are excited about the opportunity to grow. There's particular markets, no doubt, that have expressed enormous interest in it. So we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to start looking at it in a more formal way beginning this summer.
More formal way beginning this summer. If we can get more fan bases like this in the NBA, like the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA, I know Perk knows that from firsthand experiences. He's been speaking about how awesome these 2 franchises are. That's something that would be really interesting to see. Commissioner, we have to take a quick break here, but we always appreciate you stopping by NBA Council.
But Commissioner,
Ask him at the commercial.
No, you know how I feel about you. Best commissioner in sports. Go ahead, Malika. You can take it.
Okay, I'll take it to break then.
I'll ask him later.
Thank you so very much, Commissioner. We always appreciate the time.